injury. This is a strong-looking lineup. Only half the team remains of the 11 who kicked off the League Cup win against Raith Rovers on Tuesday. Alan Thompson made a scoring start for Celtic in that 4-0 win. He was signed from Aston Villa for £2.75 million. Russell Latapy got both Hibs goals in their midweek cup win at Falkirk, but he started on the bench after his late return from international duty with Trinidad and Tobago. His inclusion from the start is one of 4 changes to the Hibs team. Back in as well come Gary Smith, Stuart Lovell and Paatelainen. No Collins or McIntosh. Brebner and Lehmann are on the bench. Hibs love to attack, but they'll want to defend well here. Frank Sauzee is the key man in defence. Matthias Jack plays the anchor role in midfield. David Zitelli scored at Ibrox when he played for Strasbourg. He's looking for an old firm double. And the referee for Celtic against Hibs is John Robotham. Hibs get the match started. It's not judgment day, says Alec McLeish. It is the biggest test so far for his team this season. Off to a flyer after the draw in Edinburgh Derby in the opening weekend. It's been followed by 5 straight wins for Hibs, but they're facing up here to a side with a 100% record. 5 out of 5 in the league for Celtic, and still alive in the UEFA Cup and the League Cup competitions as well. And one frightening statistic for Hibs to ponder, although they might not want to, is that in their 8 games so far this season, Celtic have powered home 30 goals. Immediately on the attack, that's Alan Thompson. Feinted to go inside, now on the outside. That's a useful pull in. Colgan came and stopped, and he needed help. Up for Sutton. Sauzee won it. Cleared by Gary Smith. Won well by Petrov. Becoming a popular figure now with the Celtic supporters. That's always been the case for this man, Moravcik. Lambert. Good run from Paul Lambert. Bundled over, say the Celtic fans. John Robotham not interested in their claims. There's Matthias Jack, the Hibs player involved, and Lambert still chatting to John Robotham about that decision. Paul Lambert firstly flicked the ball through the legs of Gary Smith and then feels he was bundled over by Matthias Jack. The Celtic fans were in no doubt at all about this decision. John Robotham had a look, there was the handoff from Jack, penalty not given. Nice touch from Thompson, which drifted him inside Tom Smith. Back onto his favourite left foot, he can strike them. Blocked by Frank Sauzee. And cleared up to Latapy. There's a complete breakdown in communication between John O'Neill and Tom Smith. Possession back with Celtic. McNamara. This is the furthest he's been forward so far. Off Henrik Larsson's head. Petrov. Now Lambert, trying to find ways of opening up the Hibs rearguard. McNamara on his left foot, a couple of yards wide from McNamara. He saw the opportunity opening up, but not a prolific scorer of goals as Jackie McNamara. And Nick Colgan still untested. Well won by Sutton. Tough challenge. Smith. Hibs trying to get Russell Latapy involved in the game. Brushed aside there by Petrov. Paul Lambert into the feet of Chris Sutton. Laid off for Larsson. Through for Moravcik. Did well Matthias Jack to intercept. But Celtic win it back again. Hibs struggling to keep the ball. Back from Stubbs to the lonely Jonathan Gould. from Thompson. One in possession. Gets it back from Moravcik. Shooting opportunity there. And didn't he just take it? Superb technique from Lubomir Moravcik. Caught this perfectly. And inches too high thanks to the fingertips of Nick Colgan. It was dipping. It looked as if it was going to smack off the crossbar, but touched over by the Hibs keeper. The corner kick in from Thompson. Flicked away by Sauzee. Moravcik tackled from the back by John O'Neill. Gets away with it under the nose of the ref. Tom Smith did well. Took a knock. Latapy's pass. Paul Lambert diverts the ball back to Jonathan Gould. Good header. Had to be a good one because David Zitelli was lurking in behind him. There's a painful collision in midfield. Alan Stubbs looks to have taken a bad one. Tom Smith, I think, is the Hibs player injured. John O'Neill, the Hibs player injured, looked to catch his boot as he went into the challenge. He's up and about, which is a relief for Alec McLeish and Andy Watson. Their player's okay, but there'll be a lot of concern about Alan Stubbs because his immediate reaction was one of agony. Martin O'Neill has to make an early change. The match is over for Alan Stubbs, and he's telling his players exactly what he wants them to do as he prepares to bring on Johan Mjallby. Stubbs off on a stretcher, and most people inside the ground will hope that this is nothing too serious. Stubbs off, Mjallby on. It's through for Henrik Larsson. The deflected shot, Gary Smith did well. Larsson looking dangerous. And Smith did enough to make sure the shot wasn't too serious for Colgan. Aimed at Sutton, good control. The back heel from Alan Thompson. And penalty kick is given. Nick Colgan looks aghast as Alan Thompson surged into the penalty box. Colgan undoubtedly was going for the ball, but caught the Celtic wing-back. The penalty is given. Colgan's still unhappy about this ruling. This was the challenge for the ball. Well, he looked to get contact with the ball, did Colgan. Down went Thompson. And Colgan might be about to lose what would just be his second SPL goal of the season. It's Henrik Larsson. Larsson strikes. 1-0. 18 minutes gone. There'll be some debate about the award of the kick. But there's ever no great questions about Henrik Larsson's finishing. Colgan went one way and the ball went the other. Celtic have the lead, and surprise, surprise, Henrik Larsson. Fenwick to Sauzee. Touch from McNamara, and very powerfully back by Stuart Lovell. His goalkeeper won't thank him for that. John O'Neill is away from Johan Mjallby. Good effort from O'Neill, well on target, and good positioning and a solid save from Jonathan Gould as well. Johan Mjallby was caught flat-footed there. O'Neill was quick, and his shot well stopped. causing problems for Matthias Jack. Dangerous pass back there. It's almost stuck in the soaking turf. McNamara, it's 1 against 2, but still in possession. Good run. Headed away by Fenwick. Paul Lambert. Well off target from the Scotland midfielder. Won by Boyd. Alan Thompson off and running. Sutton and Larsson wait. And Paul Fenwick trundles the ball behind. Hibs happy to escape here, with only the concession of a corner kick. In from Moravcik. Flicked away by Paatelainen. Kept in by John O'Neill. Tom Smith. Russell Latapy. Back with O'Neill. Zitelli. Matthias Jack. Zitelli again did well to get on the end of it before McNamara. Paul Lambert made the intelligent interception. Sauzee. Lovell shut down very quickly by Alan Thompson. Gary Smith. Paatelainen's header. Mjallby away, really unconvincingly. Now there's a second chance. Thompson surging through the middle. Moravcik has switched from left to right. 1-2 with Larsson. And it was Matthias Jack who slid in to turn the ball away. Mjallby off the back of Sutton. He usually manages to get on the end of a long ball one way or another, and did superbly well to keep that in. And he has a free kick given against Paul Fenwick. Gives up nothing, Chris Sutton. Must be a nightmare to play against. And inside the last minute of the first half, a set-piece chance for Celtic. And it goes wide, and the man who won it, the free kick that is, had the effort on goal, Chris Sutton, but he couldn't steer the header into goal. Thompson's delivery, whipped in from the right-hand side. Couldn't get himself properly positioned, Sutton, for the header, off target. McNamara to Larsson. One back by Zitelli. Jack to Colgan. Almost missed that completely, Nick Colgan. Sauzee, not sure of touch that time. Thompson for Moravcik, he's in here. Moravcik, good save, Nick Colgan. Another solid stop from the former Irish under-21 keeper, denying Moravcik, and he looked certain to make it 2, but he stood up well, Colgan, and made a very impressive save. Thompson to Moravcik, gets it back, Alan Thompson. Wants a good ball in here, but has to settle for a corner kick. Gary Smith got a touch to it on the way through. In from Moravcik, away by Sauzee. Hibs push out. Thompson back in. Tremendous vision from Paul Lambert. Back with Moravcik. In for Henrik Larsson! The last action of the first half, and Celtic make it 2. Larsson not picked up by Hibs. And when it was lofted in by Moravcik, Henrik Larsson was waiting to pounce, as were Valgaeren and Sutton in behind him. But Henrik Larsson had already decided it was his. 2 for him, 2 for Celtic. And Hibs can barely get the match restarted. Celtic 2-0 up. And they've dominated the match so far. At the moment, it looks very much as if the home team here will take up pole position in the SPL tonight. A tale of 2 penalties. Firstly, this one not given after Paul Lambert wormed his way into the box. It was a nudge, certainly, from Matthias Jack. Penalty not given. This was Alan Thompson heading into the penalty box, and this time the challenge from Nick Colgan was penalised, and from the spot, Henrik Larsson unlikely to make a mistake. 18 minutes gone and Celtic 1 up. It looked as if it might just be 1, but the combination of Lambert and Moravcik set up Larsson 3 minutes into stoppage time with that unchallenged header, which Alec McLeish will have something to say about in the away dressing room during the interval. It's 2-0 Celtic. Celtic get the match restarted, and Hibs know well they're going to take some stopping now. 2-0 up at the interval after dominating the first half. Hibs may well have something to say about the first penalty award, but there's no doubt that there was only one team sweeping forward constantly. That was Celtic. Alan Thompson! Almost 3 within 30 seconds. We know already that he can strike them, can Alan Thompson. He was looking for that one to swerve back off the outside of his left foot, but it went pretty straight. Otherwise, Colgan was beaten. Paatelainen's flick. Latapy can't keep it. Moravcik got it away. Jack to Fenwick. That's for Paatelainen. Missed by Valgaeren. And Mixel Paatelainen looking for the assistant on this near side, Neil Brand, to get himself involved. He felt he was being held by Tom Boyd. What do we do now? Might well be the words in the bubble from Alec McLeish to Andy Watson. 2 down at Celtic Park, and the home team at the moment cruising. Lovell straight at Paul Lambert. Hibs not helping themselves. Zitelli and Petrov, a powerful run, very direct. Again, it's Matthias Jack who concedes a free kick. He felt there wasn't much else he could do there. Left by Larsson. And it was Alan Thompson. Another fizzing left foot shot from him. And not too far away. Trying to curl it round, but it went the other way. Tom Smith with the pass. Latapy struggling to get the better of Valgaeren. Moravcik, neat little chip forward to Henrik Larsson. Good touch. Off and running again. And here's Stilian Petrov. Good save. Brave save too from Nick Colgan. If the first touch had been better from Petrov, he had a great chance there to knock in his 4th goal of the season. But it ran away from him, And that allowed Colgan to race off his line and make a strong save. John O'Neill, flicked on by Zitelli for Paatelainen. But the link up between the two doesn't come off. Petrov gets forwards. Chris Sutton against Paul Fenwick, leaves him for dead. And Thompson not quite there for the Sutton cutback. Lambert to McNamara, but it's away from him. There are the two managers, conflicting emotions at the moment. Alec McLeish willing his side towards one final effort. Martin O'Neill hoping his side can hold on to the advantage they have. There's Paul Fenwick's header. Matthias Jack. Free kick going against Petrov. Not much doubt about it. Paatelainen loses out. Mjallby heads forward. Back from Larsson to Petrov. A lazy one from the Valgaeren. But Celtic have it back. Thompson to Moravcik. Away from Lovell. This looks interesting. But not the cross. That was behind before it swerved back into play from Moravcik after he got himself into a good position. Johan Mjallby with the header. Petrov fouled by Smith, Tom Smith. Chris Sutton the target, allowed to chase the ball down for Henrik Larsson. Saved by Nick Colgan. So close to a hat-trick for Henrik. And Hibs could have been punished severely here for standing off Chris Sutton. Popped it up for Larsson, and Colgan got his body in the way of the shot. Chris Sutton powering his way through. Henrik Larsson supported by Moravcik. Into the box he goes. On his left foot, Moravcik deflected in, knocked away by Sauzee. There was a real threat posed there by the play of Moravcik. Sutton and Larsson waiting for scraps. Fenwick to Smith, now O'Neill. That's a poor pass, a tired pass from John O'Neill. Thompson, the reverse ball for Chris Sutton. That was aimed at Henrik Larsson. Sutton again, careering into a challenge on Paul Fenwick. Lehmann showed too much of it to Johan Mjallby. It is though Hibs throw. O'Neill to Gary Smith. Hibs have a free kick, despite the fact Smith's pass went astray. There was a late one from Thompson, seen by John Robotham. Sauzee sweeps it out wide for Tom Smith. High hanging cross for Paatelainen. It's down for Stuart Lovell, and the rebound can't be tucked away. A chance for Hibs, and there have been precious few so far. That's the end of the threats, and the Hibs goal. Foul given against Paatelainen. The shot from Lovell spilled by Gould, but it wouldn't come for either O'Neill or Lehmann. Boyd aimed at Sutton, knocked down for Larsson. Delicate little touch for Stillian Petrov. Lambert. Larsson did well to get on the end of it. And that's zooming towards the corner flag from Moravcik. Chested down by Lambert for Moravcik. Lovely back heel for Thompson. Larsson. The most delicate of touches, releases Thompson beyond Sutton, but it falls for Jackie McNamara, and now Sutton. He's round Colgan, blocked by Sauzee. What a save that is from the Frenchman, as Hibs seems certain to go 3 down. Chipped in by Thompson. Jackie McNamara had a complete mishit with his shot at goal, but it dropped for Sutton. He got himself round the goalkeeper, but he still had Sauzee to beat. A painful one for Sauzee, but it's kept the Celtic lead at just 2. Doing the perfect covering job in behind Colgan, and he got that in a sore area. Good turn by Stillian Petrov, and a good pass for Jackie McNamara, well timed. Mark Burchill waits. Another good interception by Sauzee. Read that situation so well. This was aimed at the on-rushing Burchill. First there, Sauzee. Larsson to Thompson. Two minutes to be added, and we've played almost exactly 90 now. Larsson can still be a threat from midfield, as Hibs are about to find out from Lambert and Burchill. And 3-0. He's done so much damage up front, as Henrik Larsson, to Hibs this afternoon. Now he does it from the midfield. Perfectly timed through pass. Hibs were trying to play offside. It didn't come off. Not too much has come off for them this afternoon. And Paul Lambert unselfishly set it up for Mark Burchill, and his 4th goal of the season. He wants away because he can't get a regular first team place. All he can do is continue to stick the ball in the back of the net. Mjallby to Boyd. Celtic just seconds away from another 3 points. That's well won by Chris Sutton, right to the death, competing for everything. Into the feet of Petrov, back for Sutton. Here's Petrov, and good challenge by Sauzee, got the ball. I don't think there was any question about a penalty kick there. Sauzee diving in to get his toe to the ball. There was the contact. That's full time. Celtic go to the top of the league. Martin O'Neill has known only the winning feeling since taking over as the Celtic manager. 9 wins out of 9, and Hibs are knocked off their perch. Mark Burchill put the icing on the cake for Celtic right at the end, after Henrik Larsson had set up the victory. A penalty after 18 minutes. And then a header deep in stoppage time at the end of the first half. The match was over as a contest long before that. It was all about damage limitation for Hibs after the interval. They did that to a fair bit of effect until that late Burchill goal made the final score at Celtic Park. Celtic 3, Hibs 0.
Alex, 3-0 Celtic. How was the match lost in your mind?
Celtic a good side, there's no doubt about that, and they deserve to win, but you know, they got off to the flyer with the penalty decision, which you know, I have to see television pictures, but you know, I've got a couple of aggrieved players in there that feel as if it was of the 50-50 dubious category again.
Was the award of the penalty, do you think then, anything to do with the fact that one had been knocked back maybe 5 or 10 minutes before?
Well, you'd have to remind me of that one, Rob.
When Paul Lambert was nudged.
Nudged. Well, if Paul Lambert was nudged and a penalty wasn't given, there was 2 pulls of jerseys in the Celtic box in the second half, mixed with Paatelainen, and Lehmann was blatantly blocked by Jackie McNamara and another diagonal ball. So, you know, if there are no penalties, then I think the Lambert nudge is never a penalty.
Martin, top of the league, you must be delighted with that.
Delighted with the performance. I thought we did terrifically in the game. Obviously scored goals at important moments in the match, and there's a little period in the second half where we were perhaps guilty of giving it away rather too easily. Outside that there, I thought we were terrific. No, absolutely terrific. A lot of great performances, a lot of individual performances. Hard to pick out one. Jackie McNamara was simply sensational for us, and we had a little bit of adjusting to do here and there, as Hibs, who were quite rightly top of the league, could show. But delighted we won.
You could have been thrown off early on by the loss of Alan Stubbs, but you kept your rhythm, you kept your shape. We
kept the shape. I mean, we were a wee bit surprised that Hibernian came here, played 3 up, and it meant for a really open game. And they took a gamble themselves. I was hoping that we could get the first goal, because it's always dangerous. Just after we'd got the goal, they had a great chance themselves. I thought that Jonathan did brilliantly to save that one, and that might have been a turning point in the match. We got the goal just before half-time, gives us a bit of a cushion if nothing else, but the lads were still concerned about it at half-time.
You mentioned that sticky period in the second half, but for much of it you ran the show, which is terrific against a team that's been going so well.
Exactly. I mean, I mean, we were well up for the game. There's no doubt about it. I think that, and we give Hibs every single bit of respect that we could afford them. There's no doubt about it. They're a good side. They can play some very, very attractive football. And I've got to say, when we scored the 3rd goal, it was about the only moment I thought that we might take all 3 points.
A goal in midweek, and you were pretty close to another one today as well.
Aye, we're close, isn't quite good enough, but yeah, I'll be hoping to get a few more.
What about the penalty? How did that go from your point of view? Nick Colgan obviously was furious about it.
I just remember that centre half stopped running, and I thought, well, why is he stopping? So I kept going, and the lad punched us and just went down, you know.
There was contact, was there?
Aye, there was, to be fair. Well, I thought there was. He pulled us at the end and said there wasn't, but that's his opinion. My opinion was a bit different.
That was a big moment in the match, obviously.
Yeah, it was. It was quite early on as well, I think, and just give us that little lift that we needed, you know.
You were speaking all week about wanting strong refereeing. You obviously don't think you got that.
I don't think we did. You know, I'll probably be pulled up in front of the beats for that, but I don't think that it was a strong decision.